Hi guys, and welcome back to another Dragonheir Silence God video. In yesterday's video, I did a full breakdown guide about the Halo Lunar event, showing you what you need to do in terms of the bosses, how many bosses you need to hit over 22 millions, comparing to how many dices you have, so you can assess where you are in the event. And if you decide to pull your dices early on or later in the game, up to you, obviously. I've shown you the strategy I'm using for the and the numbers that are needed for the Moonlight events, where you need to farm the dungeons every certain sets of days. And I've said that I wasn't sure if I was going to do my dices early on or later in the season. But after some thought, I reached the conclusion that it's probably better for me to pull my dices now, in the hope of getting some good champions that are going to help me for those continental challenges. I don't have a super end game account. If you watch my content, probably it's because most of the content I'm putting out, most of the composition I'm using are quite relatable. I'm trying to use a lot of epic champions, some good rares, and obviously when I need and when I can, and for my own use, when I'm pushing high ranking, for example, I'm going to use the good legendary that I have. But as you can see over here, I don't have many crazy good OP legendary. I got Erich for the storyline in Season 1, and that is the only fire champion I have. I have Urgander and Jantalia. Urgander was my first legendary and my main tank for all Season 1. I'm working on building him right now. Jantalia is probably a good damage dealer. I haven't got around building her or dive too much in her kit. I know she has a block revive that can be useful maybe. In the lightning department, I have a bit more. I've pulled Bionfray, which is a tank. Haven't used him yet. Have two Dauntless from Season 1, Suta and Garrett. I'm working on them as well to try to get my Dauntless team for the Vortex or for other content. I have 3 Thunderbolt Legendary in per content, Shinacton and Nisa. Nisa probably being the least interesting of the 3. Shinacton is a good enabler, and Perkunte is definitely a good AoE damage dealer, especially when it comes from waves. But on these bosses, we're probably not going to need that. In the rally, the only legendary I have is Huberg, which is an amazing damage dealer. I have to pair him with epics all the time because obviously I don't have those amazing rally support. And in ice, the only one I've got so far is Drit. Is from the D&D events in Season 1, where you had to farm the bosses and get those fragments to summon the champion. I think there was some summoning involved as well, so probably I'm going to start saving dices from now on, hoping that they're going to repeat some sort of collaboration. And when it comes to Necrosis, I got 3 legendaries. Quesitia, which I love as an amazing tank with a lot of controls, a debuff. Rippercast, which is really, really good with a lot of turn meter control and random debuff. And Sharlock, which I haven't used, is a summoner. I don't really know much about mechanics of summoning. I never used them, to be honest with you, and all the feedback I had so far were that they were not so good, and that's why I stayed away from them for now. When it comes to epics, I have most of the epics, but I still need some of them, and it would be really good if in the process we get an Isolde. She will complete my fire team, and I will be able to run a full fire team that could basically work on any content. In poison, I believe I have everything. Lightning again, I will really love an Iola. She has a nice decrease attack ultimate that can really help my lightning team. Yui Katl, I don't know how you said this. Huge Katl. She's amazing. She's a good shield remover. By the way, if you know how to pronunciate this, put the spell down below. I've never kind of got around how to say this name, but she's really good. She's not really a champion that I need to have, but if she pops up a dice, I will not complain too much. I don't need Dark Zero. I don't need Thunder. I don't need Sadik. And for sure, I don't need Pargu. And that's why I'm probably going to pull him. or Easy Tarian. Easy Tarian is another terrible champions. I'm quite happy that I don't have them. I have all the rares, so for rares, I have no problems. But also by pulling dices, I'm gonna get those materials needed to improve my artifact. And when it comes to these bosses and you start building different comps, like if I want to build a lightning dauntless team, I'm gonna have to use different artifacts because they are all based on the basic attacks, and therefore you use different artifact usually. And therefore, I want to pull my dice now to get those materials, to get maybe some champions I don't have. Epic will be good. And maybe one, possibly two legendary. Who knows? I believe my pity system is probably at 0. I've pulled dices in on this banner and to get the champions, and then I pull it before on this one to get some other legendary at the beginning of the season. I don't think I'm not expecting more than one legendary probably. If we are lucky and we pull one legendary early on, maybe let's see if later in this month I'm gonna push for the 60 just to get that legendary. Maybe 80 will be too much. I don't think I can go for 80, but maybe at 60 and get those materials will be nice. Those SNR creation, as I said, are helping a lot. But enough talking. Let's jump into the pool. Let's see what we can get out of this 40 dices. Cross your finger for me if you can, and let's go with the first 5. What are we going to get? As I said, I don't need really rares. Epics, some epics will be good, and therefore we get a full pool of rares. My rare taxes is paid now. Hopefully, in the next 35, and the next 30, we will get one before the PT. Let's go with the second pool of 5. Let's see if we get anything useful and usable over here. 2 epics. Bladin, amazing champion for this season. If you don't have him, you should definitely build him. He is an amazing enabler for Gertin, which is the best epic damage dealer, period. It has this passive where you put up crystals on her, and it has basically only need 80% crit rate. It does some damage if you build him for. It's subpart to Gertin anyway, but it's a good champion. And we got Irma. I already have Irma. She's a tank that has a nice control immunity and damage reduction ultimate. She helps a lot on certain bosses. On season 1, she was in my necrosis team when we were doing the continental bosses, especially in the second part of the season. She's a good champion, but again, I have it already. And the rest of the rare, as I said, are not needed. 10 dice is in, no legendary. Let's go with the third set of dices. Let's see if we can get anything useful over here. We get 1 epics. We are 15 dices in. And let's see who is this epic. And it's Estella. I have Estella, and she's quite frankly terrible. I don't think her kit is balanced enough, and especially in an affinity like necrosis, where there is a high need for healers. She should be reworked, in my opinion. I'm trying to push for some reworks with the developer. Let's see if I can get any reply on that. So we are 15 dices in, and still no legendary and no epics that I need. Let's go for 20 and see if we can get anything now. We got 1 epic again. Let's keep the rares, and is Naguk. We have Naguk already. He is a defense tank for lightning. I don't really like him. He doesn't bring much, so it's basically a waste of space. It's very difficult to squeeze damage out of tanks, and he doesn't bring debuff, so I've never got around using him. Okay, 20 dice is in. Still nothing usable. Let's go for 25 and hope for the best. I'm starting to get concerned. Okay, 3 epics, probably 3 dupes. What we get? Garius, the best tank for season 2 by far. He's the only one that basically makes valuable certain composition. He has this defense hub on himself, making him super tanky. He has the 24% defense aura. His battle skills really doesn't matter because we're not building him with accuracy, but his ultimate heals by crazy number. Is by far the best tank for this season. Even if it doesn't bring debuff, is incredible. We got Wilt for the rare, Fitz, Shagroll, decent damage dealer. If you need a dauntless damage dealer, he does good damage. And we got Gladros. Gladros as well was one of the champion I've used in the end of the season for the continental bosses. Last season we had Beyond Frey as a enemy for the necrosis. And if you're playing season 1, you're going to have to do it. He has a passive that basically dispels any controls and if their enemy are under shield. And he plays debuff immunity on his ultimate with a shield. He's a good champion. You build his attack up, it puts up a decent shield and help you with the controls and the stuns. So nothing else useful from here, neither. Gosh, 25 dice is in. Let's go for 30. It looks like we're gonna hit PT over here. Let's see what we get. Oh, we got an early legendary, which is good. And it's Ivelios. Yes. Yes, and this complete my Dauntless team. I believe I'm probably not gonna beat Garrett at this point. Hevelios is an amazing damage dealer. Oh gosh, I'm so happy about this. He has a single strike damage dealing. He's Dauntless, as I said. He has attack speed up to all Dauntless allied for 5 seconds, which increase the damage on anybody else. And when an ally launches a basic attack, the hero has 10% chance of launching a following attack, dealing 75% attack direct light damage. Dauntless heroes have double chance of triggering this effect, so he has 20% chance. Is absolutely amazing. It is probably one of the best damage dealer, for sure one of the best damage dealer for Dauntless. I am stoked. I am really happy of this, and this is really good. We also pull it 5 dice early, which means we are going to be, let me check. So we pull it 30. Okay. I don't think I'm going to be able to pull until getting another legendary on this banner soon. But it's going to mean that I'm going to be pulling a legendary when the next event starts much sooner. 10 dice is saved. 5 dice is saved, honestly, on the pity system. But we have to go all the way to 40 because probably we're not going to be able to get all those damage up on the bosses. So let's go for the last 10 and hope for the best. Maybe we get another epic, very good one that I don't have. Or we get another legendary. We got 2 epics over here. Garena, decent, rare. Zadok is a decent damage dealer. Herd for the necrosis is a summoner. Shank as an interesting battle skills where you basically bump the damage through the enemy like Irina does on her ultimate. Nothing too useful over here. Last 5 to go. Let's see what we get. Let's see what we get. So for another legendary over here will be absolutely amazing. We didn't. We get an epic. Hopefully is one of those that I don't have. That's the only thing I want. And is Duke Nathaniel, so nothing else. The only good thing we got out of 40 is that we got already a lot of materials, a Lego scroll, an epic scroll, 40 Lunar Halo, and some good essence of creation. And we got the one and only Ivelios. This is very good. I am super happy. Probably I'm gonna start considering moving my accounts towards the Dauntless at this point. I was already working on Suta. She's crazy good as a damage dealer. I was in the process of building Shelter as well, which is somewhere here. Let me see if I can find it. There we go. Shelter 95 is already on the way to be built. And I was working on Nimbus mainly because it has this attack aura 30%, which is going to increase my damage quite significantly. But now that I have Velius, I probably gonna level him above anyone else. And well, guys, I am not being super lucky, but I've been lucky enough, I would say. This champion is gonna help my account, and I'm sure I'm gonna do a lot of damage on the boss that take damage from lightning at this point. I wish you good luck for your pull if you pull any dices, and I see you soon with another video about Dragonheir Silence God.